Taylor Swift is one of the most prominent individuals in current music, with multiple awards, record-breaking successes, and a global fan base of millions. Talent to write accessible, emotionally driven lyrics has won her over fans of all ages, cementing her place as a pop culture legend. Despite her enormous recognition and commercial success, a close inspection of her songwriting exposes significant flaws. Among these are frequent use of a specific chord progression, the IV pattern, which appears throughout much of her over. This progression, while attractive and familiar, is a symbol of simplicity frequently exploited by inexperienced songwriters. Swift's excessive use of it highlights a larger issue of musical predictability and a lack of innovation. Swift's use of conventional song structures and repeating lyrical themes also restricts the artistry and diversity of her work. While she has successfully transitioned between genres from country to pop and most recently indie folk, her music in these genres frequently lacks the experimental edge found in the works of more pioneering performers. This essay digs into these characteristics of Swift's songwriting, emphasizing how her dependence on similar patterns and themes might undermine the creative potential and innovation that have marked the careers of other successful musicians. Excessive usage of a specific chord progression. One of Taylor Swift's most noteworthy flaws is her frequent use of the IV chord sequence. This progression, which consists of the first, fifth, sixth minor, and fourth chords of a key, is one of the most regularly utilized in popular music. It is popular among beginner songwriters because of its simplicity and the beautiful harmonic relationships it produces. However, overuse can result in predictability and a lack of musical originality. For example, Swift's song All Too Well effectively uses this chord progression. The song is widely recognized as one of her best compositions, demonstrating her ability to weave a gripping story within the limits of this well-known arrangement. However, the problem emerges when this progression appears again throughout her discography. Champagne Problems, another song in her collection, has a nearly same progression in a comparable speed and key. When these two songs are stacked together, the similarities are apparent and reveal a pattern of melodic recycling. Another example is the song Cardigan, which similarly uses this progression, but with the chords being twice as lengthy. When these tracks are pitch shifted and overlaid, the repetition becomes much more noticeable. This duplication extends throughout numerous albums, resulting in a repeating listening experience that can be tedious for discerning listeners. The recurrent use of this progression across her discography reveals a larger flaw in her music, a preference for safe and familiar structures over exploring new and diverse oral environments. Formulaic song structures. Aside from the recurrence of a particular chord sequence, Taylor Swift's songwriting frequently follows a predictable format. Many of her songs follow the verse, chorus, bridge, chorus structure, which is a tried and true pop music formula. While this format is popular for good reason, it provides a clear and accessible foundation for listeners. It can also lead to predictability if used too frequently and without diversity. The structural pattern may be seen in songs like Love Story, Blank Space, and Shake It Off, for example. These tracks adhere to the traditional pop song format, which surely contributes to their catchiness and commercial success. However, when a musician continually uses such a formula, it might inhibit originality and limit the possibility of musical innovation. Listeners may start to anticipate the song's next portion, reducing the element of surprise and emotional effect. This regular framework can make Swift's music feel formulaic, especially for more discriminating listeners. Her dependence on recognizable rhythms risks making her songs sound similar to one another, reducing their uniqueness and memorability. While the verse-chorus style has its advantages, Swift's over-reliance on it highlights the need for more experimentation and variation in her composition to preserve artistic life and listener engagement. Lyrical themes and repetition. Another feature of Taylor Swift's songwriting that deserves criticism is the repeating of some lyrical themes. Swift is noted for her autobiographical approach, which frequently draws on her personal experiences and relationships. This introspective manner has won her many followers who value the honesty and relatability of her lyrics. This method, however, can grow redundant when identical topics are rehashed throughout numerous albums. Swift's Over is filled with themes of heartache, betrayal, and emotional longing. While they are common emotions that many listeners can relate to, their frequency can contribute to lyrical monotony. Songs such as We Are Never Ever Getting Back Together, I Knew You Were Trouble, and All Too Well highlight various aspects of romantic relationships, yet they frequently cover similar emotional material. This repetition can reduce the effect of particular songs, making them less distinct and memorable. Furthermore, Swift's proclivity to draw on her personal life may limit the scope of her lyrical substance. While her experiences provide a wealth of material, the recurrent emphasis on romantic connections may overwhelm other potential themes and narratives. Swift might benefit from exploring a broader range of topics and emotions in her songwriting to maintain artistic progress and keep her audience engaged, resulting in more depth and variety. Lack of musical innovation. Taylor Swift's career has been distinguished by a number of musical swings, including country, pop, and most recently, indie folk and alternative rock. While these genre shifts show her versatility as an artist, her music within each genre frequently lacks the inventive edge that distinguishes the work of more experimental performers. Swift is more likely to follow current trends than to create new sounds or push the boundaries of her chosen genre. For example, her shift from country to pop on the album 1989 was a calculated decision that coincided with the emergence of synth pop and electronic music in the mid-2010s. Despite its enormous success, this album followed rather than set the trend. Similarly, her recent venture into indie folk and alternative rock with the albums Folklore and Evermore coincided with a general rise of interest in these genres. While these albums gained critical acclaim and revealed a more mature, introspective side to Swift, they did not considerably innovate within their respective genres. Instead, they followed established norms and oral palettes, producing music that was well-crafted but lacked the exploratory spirit of truly new art. Swift's style appears more conservative when compared to artists such as David Bowie, Prince, and Radiohead, who constantly pushed musical limits and explored unexplored territory. These musicians are noted for their unwavering pursuit of new sounds and willingness to take chances, which has won them a reputation for genuine musical innovation. Swift may need to take a more creative and experimental approach in her future ventures if she wants to reach the same level of artistic impact. Comparison with more innovative artists. To better appreciate Taylor Swift's songwriting flaws, it is helpful to compare her work to that of more imaginative performers. Musicians such as David Bowie, Prince, and Radiohead have always pushed the frontiers of their profession, constantly growing and experimenting with new sounds and structures. These performers have not only remained relevant over time, but they have also broadened the definition of popular music. David Bowie, for example, was known for his unique ability to reinvent himself and his music with each record. From the glam rock of Ziggy Stardust to the electronic experimentation of Low and the soul influences of young Americans, Bowie consistently challenged both his audience and himself. Similarly, Prince's broad catalog includes funk, rock, R&B, and jazz, with each album bringing something fresh and surprising. Meanwhile, Radiohead has consistently challenged genre rules, combining rock, techno, and experimental music in ways that have reshaped alternative music. Taylor Swift's music, while commercially successful and emotionally resonant, frequently uses more traditional forms and textures. This lack of creative risk-taking can make her work appear less dynamic and original in the context of modern music. Taylor Swift's remarkable success and influence in the music industry are undeniable, marked by numerous accolades and a devoted global fanbase. However, a critical analysis of her songwriting reveals several weaknesses. Her over-reliance on the IV via IV chord progression, formulaic song structures, repetitive lyrical themes, and a lack of musical innovation underscore a tendency to favor familiar and safe choices over creative experimentation. While her autobiographical approach and genre shifts demonstrate her versatility, they often fall short of pushing musical boundaries. Compared to more groundbreaking artists who continuously redefine their sound and take risks, Swift's music can appear predictable and conservative. For Swift to continue evolving as an artist and maintain her relevance, embracing a more innovative and experimental approach could be key. By exploring new musical landscapes and diversifying her lyrical themes, she has the potential to elevate her artistry to new heights. This shift could not only enrich her discography, but also inspire a new wave of songwriters to innovate and expand the possibilities of popular music. Let us know in the comments what you think about the weakness of Taylor Swift's songwriting, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more captivating content on our YouTube channel.